Hey guys, this is Aegis, and it's March 17th. We're going to be casting a PvZ today, and over here we have none other than IdrA playing on ladder. He's going to be playing against FXO's Z. I'm not actually familiar with any of the players on FXO, so I guess it might actually be Oz. Um, that actually sounds familiar, but I don't know who Oz is, so that's actually kind of embarrassing. I haven't casted too many games recently, and I think Oz may be a Korean Protoss player, but I'm not too sure. So, oh, it's from MLG. Alright, I have no idea who Oz is. I didn't watch this game at that time, whenever it was cast. This is probably for the Winter Arena, which costs money, and I don't really have that much of that stuff to go around, so MLG didn't get any of my money. But anyways, Oz over here, chrono boosting out a couple of probes. There's IdrA's forces over here. It's just drones for the moment. Of course, he's gonna wind up having approximately 40% of his forces being drones. Pool coming up for IdrA, so he's gonna make sure that he has that for any sort of block that Oz may try to do on his hatch, if he decides to go for that first or soon. Oz is going to be chrono boosting a couple of probes out and perhaps dropping his Nexus first. So now I'm interested to see how IdrA did in MLG Winter Arena. I actually didn't even look at the results for that. So I'll take a peek after this game is over. Perhaps his win or loss in this game will tell me how well he did the rest of the tournament. Ha ha. I didn't actually say that. But there's the probe up the front for Oz. He's going to be throwing down his forge, and that will begin his wall off over here. IdrA is going to be forced to make at least a few Zerglings to pick off that one pylon. The probe coming back just to be a little bit annoying. IdrA knows that the forge isn't complete, so there's no chance that he's going to be cannoned in as of this point. But there's always a chance that Oz may try later on, so that's why he made a couple of Zerglings to pick this off. Of course, the drone helping out as well. He's going to drop that hatch immediately and perhaps go for a third base pretty soon as well. Cannon coming up for Oz. This probe also poking towards the third. Of course, it's not going to be there yet. It will be there soon if IdrA decides to do a very fast expand off of this. Still no gas, so I feel like he's going to be going for a quick third base. Zergling's going to be checking up there before he throws down any sort of third base. A drone is headed over there right now. Oz is chrono boosting workers right now, so he will have the economic lead for a while. But then IdrA is going to quickly take that back with a massive production of drones, especially with those queens vomiting, making massive amounts of drones. And IdrA over here, very well saturated main. His natural expansion is finishing up right now. Oz getting up his cybernetics core. I don't know if it's actually Z actually, so whatever. I'll check later. That's what I get for not doing my homework before randomly picking a game and deciding to cast it. There's a +1 attack for Oz over here, and the Overlord for IdrA sees this, so he knows that some kind of +1 timing is definitely possible. But for the moment, he actually has 2 to 3 minutes to do whatever the heck he wants before he needs to start worrying about how he's going to defend this 2-base timing, if it is a 2-base timing indeed. Oz, no additional workers coming out for just a split second. IdrA's third base is just about finished, and we're going to probably see him saturate that relatively quickly. He's got double gas coming up in the main, and still no sign of tech yet, so we'll see what he decides to do soon. There's the 2 gas getting taken. 3 guys per gas. There's the drones headed to the third expansion as well. Begin saturating that as well. Oz throwing up his robotics facility, so it's not going to be a 2-base all-in at least. Creep Tumor coming up for IdrA. He's going to begin spreading that creep all over the map, giving it some of that Zerg flavor. +1 is finishing up for Oz, and there are no additional gateways coming up except for this one. He's actually taking double gas here. This is actually going to give IdrA quite a bit of time to get up a humongous economy. Basically leaving IdrA untouched for the first 10 minutes of this game. I don't know if that's the correct choice here. For Oz, he's got his 2 assimilators now finishing up. He's got the War Prism coming up, but he doesn't actually have any gateways to actually warp in with. So this is an interesting choice here. He may try to force field IdrA out with a couple of sentries, maybe do some tickle damage inside of the main. Lair is coming up, as well as the Roach Warren. IdrA getting that just in case he needs it. Plenty of vomits going off, and the Evo chambers coming up. 12 Zerglings on the way, as well as additional drones. IdrA's going to have a booming economy. 50 drones right now. He will soon catch up. Oz getting pylons in the back of his base just in case his opponent has gone for Mutalisks. There's the Spine Crawler coming up inside of the main. IdrA, I think he senses the possibility of this drop play. Let's take a look at his vision. Yeah, he sees the double gas as well as the robotics facility, but he doesn't know about anything inside of the main. He can assume that there are a couple of gateways over here. Another Spore Crawler coming up for IdrA. Looks like a couple of sentries do pop down here. Looks like a couple of Zerglings beginning to work away right away. There's the Spine Crawler poking away. A couple of Zealots being warped in, but the ramp is still open, so IdrA's going to be free to bring Roaches up here. The drone's getting stuck here a little bit, and the Zealots working down the Roach Warren. The Glial Reconstitution is going to get cancelled by those Zealots, and IdrA's actually not doing too well right now. There's a couple of additional Roaches running into a couple of Zealots here. Another warp-in of Zealots from Oz. And IdrA needs to keep pouring the units on here to help defend. The Spine Crawler working away on those Zealots. And looks like IdrA will clean up here and come out with a slight food advantage. However, the War Prism is still alive and continuing to drop down the sentries. Looks like the Queen trying to get into a good position to poke down that, or throw darts down on that War Prism. Looks like the War Prism may fall. There it falls with the 2 sentries inside. And that's quite a bit of gas dropping out of the sky for Oz, and IdrA securing a 30 food lead right now. 2 Immortals out in the field, but not much else for Oz. He committed most of his forces just doing that attack, and IdrA has the larger economy and the larger forces, larger army out on the field right now. Couple of sentries working away on an Overseer. It is armored, so it will take a while to kill off. Oz going up to 7 gateways. He's got 3 Immortals, which he will bring across the field. Spires finishing up right now, and by the time those Immortals crawl across the map, those Hydras will be finished as well, and this will put IdrA in a great position to actually win this game. Hydras coming up over here, as well as 20 Zerglings, so IdrA knows about the possibility of this attack. Zealot being warped in to prevent the counterattack. The Immortals trying to blast those Zerglings into oblivion, but not quite working out, as those Immortals are just a little bit too slow. You'd think that Protoss would be smart enough to put like speed boosters on those Immortals, but think not. Oz taking his 3rd base right now. IdrA is going to be looking to take his 4th reel soon. He got out a ton of units. We'll see what he decides to do with these. Grooved Spines are finishing up. Zerglings continuing to run about, trying to poke around and do some damage. Storm is being researched by Oz, and IdrA needs to not stick on this Hydra army. He is continuing to make Hydras. He may decide to push against this 3rd base. Oz is 70 food behind right now, and if IdrA decides to push, I think this game will be over for Oz. Now IdrA bringing forward a